So first of all, welcome back to the last class of this semester, MATH113, Section 7, the applications of mathematics in today's world. We're not going to cover anything new today. I'm just here to help provide some feedback and review of what we have gone through this semester for you. First of all, let me just start from where we left last time. Let's go back to the beginning. So the syllabus of this course is located right here on the Moodle environment. Let's go through the syllabus. Okay, this is the syllabus. It's at Introduction to Selected Applications, Interesting Topics of Mathematics. For example, matrix algebra, we did not do this. Managing money with consideration of its time value, we did not do this. Mathematical modeling, we did a lot. Numbers in real world, we did a little bit. In the last class, for example, the energies and populations. Introductions to calculus, we did a lot, all right? So this course provides interactive and cooperative learning environment for enhancing students' ability to understand, to model, to solve problems involving mathematics, all right? So we've been doing this in the area of calculus using the idea of the derivative to help you see how we can model our physical phenomenon or understand the rate of change to solve problems in the area of optimizations. Well, this course will enhance students' ability to perform project work and case study. This is something you should have done in the past month, and you should be able to submit your work using the concept you've learned, no matter how big it is, how small it is. Remember, it's your work. It's your trying to understand something, to model something, and to solve problems with the concept and methods learned. So I'm sorry. This is the last class. Good afternoon. Important conclusions of this course. It is stated that students are expected to understand, model, and solve simple problems in mathematics. And over the past couple of weeks, ever since the end of week number 9 up to now, we've tried to see if you could understand the meaningful problem solving using specific simple concept from what we've learned in calculus. Work an example using MIT's specific example videos. Also participate in discussions on issues related to applications of mathematics in today's world. We also invite you to do table-based discussions on topics of interest, invite you to brainstorm on topic of your team's work, invite you to think a little bit more about the end of the week exercise, perform presentations or write reports on project findings, case study, and other assignments. Well, unfortunately, the time does not allow for us to have in-class presentations, but writing report based on what we're supposed to collect over this couple of days. You should be able to do all of this. All right, so lecture, we use MIT's open courseware, student presentations, a little bit of this, but not the core concept. Projects using private problems that you have already done over the past Learning Content 1 and 2, not Learning Content 3 because it's a project. We use exercise and problems that help you enrich the concept learning class. We use e-learning because in the Moodle website, a lot of the concept, you can pick it up from the calculus expert, from Khan's Academy, from MIT's open courseware, and then independent study. If you do not forget, we have a reading list for each of the first 10 weeks, and then in the reading list, I include a lot of the intellect-based resources to help you understand the related concepts of calculus. And I've also given you the random learning schedule each week before class, during class, after class, and end of the week exercise. If you look at it closely, they're divided into two parts, the process learning and the content learning. But mostly, we're interested in content learning, all right? So, if you look at this particular table, in-class participations requiring you to work together as an individual, as a pair, as a team, okay? And then project, and we have midterm exam. We also have a final exam coming up on the December 18th. So basically, it's something like this. We cover more than 8 weeks of calculus, actually 9 to 10 weeks of calculus using 14 lectures from MIT's open course for a single variable calculus based on the lectures of number 1, Professor Gilbert Strawn, number 2, Professor David Jurison. You can trace all this lecture together with the notes in the Moodle websites. We select some topics of interest to introduce you the application of mathematics, and particularly as of last class we used Professor Barrett from the University of Colorado at Boulder's classic examples of telling you, reading the newspaper, the report, and how do you analyze and use your common sense and basic mathematical concept. We call it arithmetic, and particularly the idea behind exponential functions to understand those concepts. And when we talk about exponential functions, do not forget MIT's professor, Professor Gilbert Strawn. He has actually elaborated several lectures that I've used here to help you understand the exponential function is actually the creations for the study of calculus. It's a very interesting function. All right, so basically, if you look at the syllabus, it's something like this. So having gone through a review of the syllabus, let's move to the Moodle website. If you come to the Moodle website, you will discover that we have designed this website along the 15 weeks learning schedule. In each week, we have a reading list, and we also have the blended learning schedule of the reading list. In each of the reading lists, although I did not specifically ask you to do anything on this, but I did tell you that this is the list you need to pay attention to, and hopefully each week, if you have time enough, at least study one question here together with the resources. I did not require you to write journals as in other classes of my GE courses, because the focus here is to blend the traditional way of learning calculus with the new e-learning way that you can help yourself to learn. And one of the purposes of my providing these resources for the subsequent 10 weeks time is to help transition you from a taught-to-learn student that you always rely on mathematical teachers to teach you something to becoming a learn-to-learn student where you can make the best use of those resources, simple video to give you the concept and give you the practice. And actually, a lot of such resources there. If you don't believe that, if you come back to the first week of our classes, I told you here from day 1 that you can study calculus not from anybody, but on yourself by going to those internet-based resources. We call it the free online calculus courses, including the Coursera, including the MIT's work, and also including some selected work on the Khan Academy. Very good. And on studying the calculus, I always help you to understand the meaning behind the concept by showing you the work of other great professors. They produced the video on helping you to understand what calculus is all about, what you're supposed to learn in this semester of calculus, the differential calculus, the applications of the derivative based on the classic definitions of what a derivative is. And so I record the lecture on each of this week, on each of this day, and provide a YouTube link here so that you have a basic reference to review what we've gone through in class. And also I include a very important set of resources here on each week called before class, during class, after class, and end of the week activity, where you can actually trace what we've gone through each week. And if you lose any class or miss any class, you can easily come back to those links and review the resources there together with the YouTube video. You should not miss any important things. Okay? So this is what a teacher is supposed to do to help you learn to learn, rather than just give you what is supposed to be the math knowledge you need. And then in the process of doing this, I've also introduced to you what is meant by active learning in class and also out of the classroom. So having said that, we've gone through week after week, day after day of our learning here. The most important thing is I've also assigned exercise for you to do. And the exercise assigned at the end of the first 10 weeks were actually collected in the first 2 learning contracts. And after the first 2 learning contracts, I did not assign any more exercise. And it's important that we have to keep you busy with completing the exercise, because there's one way to make sure you learn something from the lecture. One characteristic of this course is we do not use any particular textbook, but we recommend a reference text where you can find in the library so that you can extract the exercise to work on. At the end of each submission of the exercise, I also provide the answer, suggested answer for the exercise. And we do not collect your exercise every week. We collect it every 3 to 4 weeks time, so that you have enough time to discuss with your learning partner what this exercise is all about. And we also gone through a midterm exam where you have a choice of topics which you believe comfortable enough you can work on those topics. And the midterm exam turned out to be very interesting. Not many students failed. Many students got A. Few students got 100%. Few students got more than 90%. And mostly the average is between 70 and 80. Alright? So it's basically very impressive, the performance of this class. So now allow me to show you the result of our end of the semester course survey. Not this one. I don't think it's this one. It's right here. Yes. I extract this result from the work you did last week. Yet, when I look at the result, it's very encouraging too. Although I do not expect that I should get the support of every one of you. So when the question asked, design of the course helped me to learn, out of the 17 students who complete the survey, I just have 1 strongly disagree, 1 disagree. I got 9 neutral, I have 3 agree, and I have 3 strongly agree. When I consider neutral means okay lah, alright? So it's basically not hard feelings of that. For the 2 students who strongly disagree or disagree, I will highly recommend that when you have class experience of this time, you need to come talk to me and see if we could resolve any disagreement before it's too late. But this is done towards the end of the semester, so there is little I can do. Throughout the course, the 15th week, if there is anything you disagree, you should come to see me. My office hour is open Monday and Wednesday, and it's already published in the syllabus and also in the Moodle environment. So make the best use of your instructor, okay? So the second one is the learning objective and outcomes of this course were clear to me. This is based on the syllabus, okay? As I spell out the syllabus, this is not a strictly very highly academic mathematics course. It's a GE course in which we need to help you understand some concept in mathematics and then lead you to the discussions with your learning partner. And the records in the Moodle environment with the discussion forum tells me that most of you would like to use it to discuss when there is homework submissions, but when there is no homework submissions, you don't discuss it. So I have 2 students who strongly disagree, 1 disagree, and 7 neutral, and 5 agree, and 2 strongly agree. So basically, this is what I expect in the first time I teach a course. This is my first time I teach this course. I need to understand the students' expectations. And then number 3, lectures and course materials were well prepared and well organized. Well, again, you can see that I always have 2 students who disagree or strongly disagree, and 8 students who got okay la, and 4 who say agree, and 3 strongly agree. So this is what we can expect. No one teacher is always present in all students' eyes. And again, as a teacher, I'm here to help. If anything you disagree with me, you have to make sure the teacher understands your need. I cannot guess, okay? I highly recommend it. If you ever disagree to any particular thing in any other course, you need to visit the professor and share your concerns. This is very important. It will be good for you and good for the whole class too. And then let's take a look at this. Homework and assignment were relevant, well-designed, and fair. Taking a look at the 2 students come back, the 2 students will say strongly disagree. That means throughout the semester I still have 2 students in this class who will always say no, right? I have 6 who got okay la, I got 7 agree, and 2 strongly agree. I thank you for the support. This is very important. And the 5th question, tests and examinations were relevant, well-designed, and fair. Again, the 2 students come up and say no, and then I got 7 okay la, and 3 agree, and 5 strongly agree. I thank you very much. And then feedback on tests and assignment was helpful and provided in a timely manner. I got 1 strongly disagree, 7 okay la, and 4 agree, and 5 strongly agree. So basically, this is very encouraging. Overall, this course was academically very challenging. 5 will say yes, 7 will say challenging, and 3 say neither challenging nor easy, and 2 say easy. All right, so we have different expectations in the spectrum. And please rate the overall quality of this course with respect to teaching and learning. I got 2 very good, and I got 5 good, I got 8, 90 good or poor, I got 1 who's a poor, and I got another one very poor. So I could see that if you're still very much a taught-to-learn student, you will say, no, I love to see teacher show me on the whiteboard. But this is not a very efficient use of time and resources, because this 21st century, we have the Moodle already. So learn to adjust and accommodate the needs of one another. And particularly the good things about the system here is we can always have the records of what's going on in class, okay? So take a look at this. The course was relevant to my everyday life. Now let's take a look at, I got 3 students who's strong disagree, I got 12 okay line, I got 2 strong agree. As I explained to all of my students, how do you make a course relevant to your everyday life? Is when you actively make connections to what you learn in the course to what you are concerned with. This is an individual effort on your own, because we can hardly make it relevant to individuals' need. It is an individual who have to make the connections from what you learn to what you care for. So this particular question is good in the sense it helps to test on how mature you are as a learn-to-learn student, or how taught-to-learn a student you are. So it's very interesting, but mostly 12 students say okay la, all right? So compared to most courses, the amount of workload required for this course was very heavy. 2 students would say heavy, 5 students would say, but normal, 10 students would say that. Now from the response to these questions, I believe this course workload in terms of the homework should not be so heavy, because it's just very normal that we expect a set of exercise per week, but this course does not require you to submit exercise per week. Require you to submit exercise every 3 to 4 weeks, only 2 times. So in terms of workload, it should not be a lot, but in terms of reading the material, in terms of getting used to thinking along with the professor, it might be a little different, okay, for many of you. How many of you have got used to watching MIT's courseware to learn something new? We professors or instructor, whenever we want to learn something new, we go to Coursera to see if there's a course which will give me what I want, and I just sign in. It's free of charge, all right? So I got every resources there. So how much of the time, let's see, let me go back here. How much of the time of the class was conducted in English? 14 will say 100%. 2 will say only greater than 75%. That means I speak a non-English language 25% in the class. But that is not true. I speak always English. But 1 also say I speak English only half of the time. That is a terrible thing. How can you justify this? I speak English all the time, as far as I'm concerned. But when the student management read that, it will challenge me. At least one student say he did not speak English all the time. And one student will say, you just speak English 75% of the time when you should be speaking English all the time. That's evidence they did not speak English all the time. So that is very hard for us. And then my response is go to watch my YouTube video. Because I'm probably the only one who record my lectures. And then how much of the time did I speak in English if I was required to speak or present in class? All the time. 2, more than half of the time. That means I allow you to speak not English in class. Less than half of the time. I always use a non-English language. I never spoke in class. Sometimes we get challenged because when students speak in class, they're supposed to speak in English. But we sometimes allow them to speak not in English during break class. So this is a very interesting question. The use of Buddha in this course for teaching and learning was good. 5 say very helpful. 6 say helpful. 5 say okay now, and 1 say not helpful. It's very good for you to come to me and tell me why is it not helpful. It's very important that you need to understand the meaning. The school invests not a lot of money buying the software, but a team of people to maintain this, to make sure that you have an environment where you can have records of learning. So that's the motivations of this. In the space provided, sometime about the course, the English with some difficult work is too hard for me to get the meaning as a topic. Ask questions. Watch the video again and ask questions concerning those who don't understand. I think there's not the homework in the course that is so difficult, okay? If you're not accustomed to doing that, make sure, ask your learning partner, ask your teammate. That's the reason why we have teamwork. This is very important that you help one another. Teaching something easier. I can't teach something easier, but I can teach something more practical. I can try to go from step by step because my job here is to help you to understand first calculus and select the topic of the math. Okay, thank you very much for giving me encouragement here. It's a little bit difficult for me to learn calculus because some videos were hard to understand. Then ask your friend to share with you what this means. You need some help because you won't have a learning partner. That's the support network of this course. Okay. Now this is a very interesting question. The instructor inspired my interest in this subject or encouraged me to think. I do not teach content a lot. Okay, I always use resources to stimulate you, to let you understand it. If you know how to find resources to make yourself understand something, you are on your own. That's very important. Let's take a look at the result of this particular response. 2 say strongly agree that the instructor did not inspire my interest. 1 say did not, disagree. Neutral is 9, okay lah. And 3 say agree, and 2 say strongly agree. So you can see the spectrum. I hope you understand that instructor is just a person who is a little bit aged, who have gone through lives a little bit earlier than you, and he is the person who have to learn something through different means. And you can do the same, all right? When you can do the same, the only difference is whether or not you are interested in doing that. You choose this course, or it's a compulsory course, and that makes the difference, okay? So the second thing is, the instructor was responsive to students' question problem during class. Well, strongly agree, disagree 1. Disagree 1, I always have the 2 students who say no. And then 7 say okay now, 3 say very good, agree, and 5 say strongly agree. So highly recommended that the 2 students in this class who are always here will become a little bit impatient with my approach. You can just open up a little bit and discuss with me. What is it that you become disagree with me? Let's work this out. This is very important that you keep the communication channels open. Again, let's take a look at that. The instructor helped create a positive learning environment. The two students say no. Okay, ours the two students say that. The neutral nine, three say agree and three say strongly agree. So it's very important that we have to support one another. One thing I hate to do is not to give you a comfortable environment. I always consider myself to be equal to you. Okay, I do not consider because I got a PhD and I'm giving here. I always look into this and listen to your questions and make sure that I will help you learn. This is my approach. All right. If you don't like it, it's okay. But you need to keep being aware of your needs. Okay. So the instructor communicate effectively in class. Again, the two students always say no, no, and then 9 will say okay now, and the 3 agree, and 3 strongly. Okay, so it's very important that I got some support. The instructor respond to my email and other class-related communications. One say strongly disagree. Now, if I happen not to respond to an email, let me know. You can come to me after class. And 7 will say okay now, and 6 agree, and 3 strongly agree. Actually, I can answer a lot of email on this class. And then rate the instructor's overall teaching. 3 say very good, 4 say good, and 9 say okay now, and 1 always say good. I do not know if I offend this student very much, but I know that there's a practical student in this class, and he's 1 and 2. The instructor started class on time. 15 say always, 1 say 1 to 2 times late, 1 say 3 to 4 times late. Actually, I should not be late because I have class here before. I'm always here when you enter the classroom because I just ended the previous class here. So in case I'm really late, that means I did not come to the previous class. So it's very interesting. At least 2 students will say that. And then instructors' use of class time was efficient and effective. Again, 2 will always say no, and 9 will say neutral, and 3 say agree, and 3 strongly agree. And thank you very much. You see that I have always 6 strong supporters. Agree and strongly agree. So I thank you very much. And then did the instructor miss any class without makeup? Now, this is scary. According to my record, I did not miss any class. But take a look at it. 15 will say never, but 1 student say I missed 1 class. Another student say I missed 2 to 3 classes. That is scary. Someone is stabbing me on my back. So my dean is going to talk to me. Now I got 2 students report to me. You missed 1 class without makeup. And 1 say you missed 2 to 3 classes without makeup. It's scary. It's really scary. I got students who really love to play games like this. But look at that. I have every record in my YouTube that I'm here every time. All right? So I'm sorry the 2 wonderful students who is always playing games or something like this. I make use of instructor's office hour weekly 1, several times during class period. This would be semester period 1. Once during class period. So look at class. In class is not office hour. It's semester, I think. Well, much better. So 10 say never. So did the instructor conduct a student feedback midterm survey? I did. 16 students say yes. Now at least 1 student say I didn't do it. The record is there in the Moodle environment, but still 1 student always says I didn't do it. That means I can always guess that if this student have a conversation with anyone, there's always tap me on my back. Wow, this is scary. In the space provided, please provide any additional comment about the instructor. Maybe the teacher can explain more topic in some classroom questions. I think I've already covered a lot of topics with those videos, but if you need more topic, perhaps you come to me after class and during my class hour. That's much better. Overall, we're good and all, but I think the model of teaching can be changed to the right one and the right one. Many students still accustomed to right on the right one, please. Do you understand the meaning of right on the right one? I've tried to suggest to the school at the beginning that we use interactive whiteboard. That means any time before I write it out, there is a record of the video, and the video will send to the Moodle. That is possible. But when we write something on the whiteboard, we are just slowing down the process because we can always get it we're not doing the mechanical things. When we have something much better, you can see, you should get used to things like this, all right? Just like e-learning in this particular era. So I think we need to adjust the needs of one another, okay? I hope instructor can teach us on the whiteboard one time every class. That's very important. Homework is too much. Yes. Actually, we just have 2 collections of homework. So thank you very much anyway. You see, the meaning of this kind of survey can help me to understand something about the feelings of students throughout the semester. My job here is to make sure I create an environment in which you can really learn the subject matter through the resources I put in, according to the schedule of the semester, and then we run through those resources to let you learn. One thing good about the Moodle environment, together with the resources, you can always come back and read and study as many times as you want. In the past, when you write on the whiteboard without a duplicated record, you can only have this one-time chance to look at what I write on the whiteboard, and then something on the notebook. You can never review that, except there is a closed camera on this. But this time, the reasons why I use MIT David Jerrison's work, it's wonderful, because MIT professors, his work is recognized, and the way he explains something is what we need, and you can always go back and watch, and then learn from this, and then together with the notes, everything there is what you need to learn the subject. All right? So, as a facilitator of the class, an instructor must first of all set aside important resources together with the schedule, and then walk you through the learning process and help you to see if you can pick up what is important rather than go the old way. And this is something very important when you go to college, because I do not know if you are doing it now, but if you live in the residential college, at the end of each semester, your master will probably ask you to complete your e-portfolio for relevant living and learning experience. This is the time when you really have to come back to the foresight, extract the material you did, and that is very important. Okay, now since this is a GE course, the differences between the GE course and the major courses, we have the emphasis a lot on the process of learning rather than the content of learning. So in this particular course, one characteristic of helping you understand the process of learning is to give you something called the blended learning schedule. Okay? I do not know how many of you have actually used them, because in the questionnaire that I provide you, I did not ask any questions, but in other courses I teach, I ask specific questions on that. The blended learning schedule on each week, okay? I provide about 10 weeks blended learning activity. If you've actually gone through the 10 weeks learning activity, you know that at the end of each week, I've given you specific instructions of what you need to do, but I did not ask you to submit anything. All right? I've given you the instructions on the process. I've also given you the instructions on the content. That is important because this is a GE course. It's meant to build up a set of core skills in each one of you that is transferable to your other courses learning in the subsequent years of college education. If you know that you can do all of these for each course you do, you need to get ready before you come to class. You need to be aware of what you need to understand during class. You need to be well informed what you need to do after class, and you need to reflect on what you have learned at the end of the week. If you can do something like this is a blended learning cycle for every piece of work that you do, or for example, for every course of work you do, you will be perfect. In a sense, there's no reasons you should not succeed in your college year, because the management skill behind all of these requires a lot more than the technical knowledge. That is what I mean by inquiry-based learning, self-regulated learning, and when you work in a team, problem-based learning. Okay? So I think I've already done this, helped you to understand the philosophy of this course, and I'm going to the submissions of your project work tomorrow, today or tomorrow, you should be able to see the grade before the final exam, how many points you've already earned. Now, for the second batch of homework problem, as long as I say, as long as you submit your work without scribbles, that means without making me find it difficult to understand what you write, you should be able to receive the full score, full 15 semester point for your homework, unless you did not submit it. Okay? That's, the homework points are giveaway for me, it's a giveaway. They give you a chance to practice. Okay, so everybody should be receiving 15 semester point for the homework, and then you add the 15 semester point for your homework to your midterm score, which is 20%. Okay, how do you convert it back to 20%? 100% is equal to 20%, so how many points you get, you can understand how many points of the semester's 20 points you get. And then after your submissions of your project by the end of tomorrow, you should be able to see your score, hopefully before the end of next week, about your project score, which is another 20%. And your final exam is 45%. Now, once again, how do you get prepared for your final exam? First of all, you need to review the homework exercise problem together with the suggested solutions. Second, review the midterm exam, okay, and the suggested solution. All of these is on the website, on the website. Third, you need to go through end of the week link for all the weeks that I provide and work out, or better say, understand every single working examples there, okay? Every single working examples there, including the video, including the problem statement and the solution statements there. You know where it is. You click on this link, you go to content, and you can see all of these. We have actually 9 weeks of material, but it's not many work problems, just about 20 to 30. About 20, I guess, it's much more appropriate. And then, in the final exam, it's a 3-hour exam. I'm going to give you 20 questions to choose 10 from, okay? You can you can choose questions of your own expertise based on what we cover over the past 10 to 14 weeks, all right? So read the lecture with the examples, and that's the way to prepare for your exam. Okay, having said that, according to the advice of the Vice Rector in Academic Affairs, this is the very last class. I should set aside 30 minutes in the very last class. Now we're 30 minutes, up to 3:45. Please go to your student web link, look up this course, and go in that course and complete the official student feedback questionnaire there for this course. Okay? Do you know how to do it? Do you know how to check your grade using student web information? Go to the student web, log in. Okay, I cannot see that because that's your area. Go to the student web, log in. Okay, and then come back to this course. Okay, and then under this course there should be a link called the student feedback questionnaire, and you complete this link. You click on this link, and the what we call SFQ questionnaire will come up, and which is very much modeled. And this particular course survey is modeled after this questionnaire, and you complete that official one for me. All right. This is an important class, and I need your completions of this questionnaire. I need to read it. All right. Thank you very much. Enjoy the snacks. Time flies. This is the 14th week. And today is day number 28, so we have 28 times coming together. All right. I'm sorry.